Hi everyone, my name is Bingying Shao. This is my final project for the CSC 594. And this project is about the Trader US Airline sentiment analysis. This dataset is from kaggle.com, and the goal for this dataset is to analyze how travelers in February 2015 expressed their feelings on Twitter about these airlines. This dataset has around 14,000 tweets and 15 variables. Here I only used 4 useful variables for sentiment analysis. These 4 variables are airline sentiment confidence, and airline, and the tweet text. And there are 6 airlines in this dataset. They are American Airline, Delta, Southwest, United, US Airways, Virgin American. Before I do the data analysis and build a model, I did the data pre-processing. I filtered all the airline sentiment confidence that is less than 1, which remains about 10,000 instances. And then I did the normalization for this dataset. I normalized the tweet by removing the @airline pattern from the tweet and also removing the URL from the tweet. And I handled abbreviations such as not, will, have, would, are, am, and she's, his, its by transforming them into original form. Then I transformed all the strings into lowercase. Finally, I lemmatized the words into singular form. Then I did the exploratory analysis for this dataset. From this plot, we can see that the dataset has an unbalanced class, since the negative tweet shares almost 70% of the whole dataset. Here is the airline sentiment plot. We can see from this plot that the United Airlines received the most negative reviews on Twitter, while the Virgin American received the least negative reviews, and the Southwest Airlines is the best one among all the other airlines. I also counted the most frequent sentiment bigrams. From here we can see that for the most frequent negative bigrams, they are about the customer service and also the canceled flight. And for the positive bigrams, the most frequent one is about saying thank you to those airlines. Since we need to build the classifier from the scratch, therefore I choose the most easiest one, that is the naive Bayes classifier. From the left part here is the algorithm, and the right part shows how I build the multinomial naive Bayes classifier. Here, the process is to generate the emission probability from the training dataset first, and then compute the priors for each class. And after that, I computed the probability for testing dataset, and then I choose the class from each dataset, from each tweet. I split before building the model. I split the dataset into 80% and 20% for the testing dataset. Here is the sample code for generating the probabilities from training dataset. Here I computed the unigram, bigram, and trigram, and I want to compare the result for the 3 different methods. Here is also the sample code for computing the probability for the testing tweet. And then I built a function for choosing class for each tweet. After I build the model and complete the classification, I evaluate the model performance by taking a look at the classification accuracy table. From this table, we can see that the best accuracy is from unigram, since it has the highest accuracy rate. And I did the classification accuracy for both training and testing data set to detecting overfitting and underfitting. From here, we can see that for the bigram and the trigram, there is a overfitting for the training data set, and the testing data set's accuracy performance is really bad. Besides taking a look at the classification accuracy table, I also take a look at the confusion matrix. From these three confusion matrix, we can see that the precision and recall for each classes shows that the bigram prediction has a better performance on positive and neutral class, while the unigram prediction has a better performance on the negative class, and the trigram prediction really has a bad performance. Here are some conclusions and improvements in the future. Since my naive Bayes classifier had a good performance on this dataset by using the unigram, therefore I think it's better to predict the trigger for using my naive Bayes classifier just by using the unigram. And because the dataset has unbalanced classes, the classifier doesn't have a good classification performance by using bigram and trigram. And besides this, I think I also need to optimize the algorithm from scratch to improve the classification performance, since it really took a long time to complete the classification. And besides this, I think I also need to explore some advanced algorithms such as support vector machine, regularized logistic regression to improve the classification performance. That's all. Thank you.